You know that storm you're facing right now? That silent pain no one sees? It's not a sign that you're failing, but incontrovertible proof that you're on the verge of something extraordinary. You've been fighting an invisible battle, and superficial spirituality may have led you away from the truth. Personal development gets confused with escapism, and spiritual awakening seems like a distant illusion. But what if your pain, your silence, every setback, is the hidden map to your deepest awakening of consciousness? Discover why life, in its wisdom, never makes mistakes. It only prepares you. You've been fighting an invisible battle, smiling when your heart was breaking, showing up when you barely had anything to give. And yet, somewhere deep inside you, the flame of life insisted on continuing. This path you're on was never a mistake. It's meant to be. I know it's hard to believe when everything seems to be falling apart, when people around you don't understand you, and even doing everything right. Life feels heavy. But the truth is you're not late, you're not broken, and you're not lost. You are being aligned with your true self, with your higher purpose, with a life that is destined for you. You were not born to merely survive this world. You were born to transform it through your light, your pain, the way you love, care, and keep going. Even when you don't know how, every tear you've cried, every silent night you've endured, every time you whispered, "I can't do this anymore," was heard. It mattered. You mattered. You still matter and always will. And you are not alone. Believe this. The universe doesn't make mistakes. It delays to prepare. It withholds to protect. It diverts to redirect. And now, you are not being punished. You are being prepared. You are not lost. You are being positioned for something far greater than you can even imagine right now. The fog in your current landscape of vision doesn't hide what is destined for you. What is yours has already been written and is clear, beautiful, and full of purpose. It's not a maybe, it's a promise. And if you keep showing up, keep trusting, keep holding on even when it doesn't make sense, you will see why it had to happen this way. In the silence of our routines, we often find ourselves exhausted. We try to do everything right, to follow all the invisible rules of life, of spirituality, of what is expected of us. And yet, a feeling of emptiness settles in, a silent anguish that no external achievement can fill. This pain is often ignored, masked by haste, by the noise of the world, or even by a superficial spirituality that promises shortcuts and light without facing the shadow. It's as if we're running on a treadmill, seeking a destination that doesn't exist outside of us. This exhaustion is not a failure, but a deep invitation. It's the weariness of the ego that insists on controlling, on filling, on always being. Master Eckhart Tolle reminds us that the ego is the unobserved mind, and when we stop truly observing, that's when we fall into the trap of meaningless doing right. The ignored truth at this point is that emptiness is not absence, but the womb of the invisible. It is in this space that the soul, in its silent wisdom, begins to whisper forgotten truths. It is when doing gives way to being that real presence manifests, dissolving the need for ready answers. The pain you feel may actually be a language of your soul trying to guide you, inviting you to an awakening of consciousness that transcends the superficial. When exhaustion becomes unbearable, it's time to embrace what hurts. Healing begins where you stop fighting what you feel. What inner search is this exhaustion trying to resolve in you? What invisible block is this weariness illuminating in your life? And it is precisely when we allow ourselves to feel the depth of this emptiness that life, in its subtle intelligence, begins to operate in ways that challenge our logic. In the journey of personal development, we often encounter setbacks that seem to sabotage our plans. A door that closes, an unexpected reversal, a dream that is postponed. In these moments, the ego, in its cunning, may try to disguise the avoidance of pain with a spirituality that seeks only light, positivity, high vibrations without depth. We flee from the present, from uncomfortable truths, from our shadows, believing that we are on a path of spiritual awakening, when, in fact, we are only postponing the encounter with reality. The universe, however, does not make mistakes. It delays to prepare. It withholds to protect. It diverts to redirect. Every setback is a subtle mirror, an invitation to pause and listen within, revealing unconscious patterns of suffering and the traps of the spiritualized ego. As Taoism teaches us, the wisdom of non-forcing, of the natural flow of life, is the way. The winding river does not fight against the stones, it simply flows around them, teaching gentleness and resilience. When something doesn't flow, it's not a punishment, but a divine redirection, an opportunity to realign with our higher purpose. Alan Watts, with his Eastern wisdom integrated into Western life, invites us to observe the dance of life, where the apparent obstacle is, in fact, a step in the right direction. The setback, then, becomes a silent ally on our inner path. What is this setback trying to show you about your escapes from the present? What hidden truth is it revealing about your desire for control? But if setbacks show us where not to go, it is the most intimate pain, that which expresses itself in every tear, that points us to where true healing manifests. There will be moments when the pain is so intense that it becomes a silent scream, an anguish that manifests in tears no one sees, in sleepless nights where the weight of the soul seems unbearable. Often, we are taught to suppress this pain, to be strong, to think positive, ignoring that all healing begins with accepting what hurts. But what if the tear was, in fact, the essence of a deep alchemy? And what if what you cry in secret was the most fertile fertilizer for the flourishing of your higher purpose? Every tear you've cried, every silent night you've endured, every whisper of "I can't do this anymore" was heard. It mattered. You mattered. Grief, loss, disillusionment are not mere events, but internal rituals that strip us bare and connect us to the fragility and strength of life. The soul is like a silent candle lit in the dark. It doesn't scream, it just illuminates. And it is in this fertile silence, irrigated by tears, that the seed of your true self finds the soil to bloom. There is no shortcut to this emotional healing. It happens through active acceptance, vulnerable presence, in the certainty that you are not broken, but in deep transformation. Imagine yourself as a seed. It needs darkness and moisture, the tears of the earth, to break open and ascend to the light. Your pain is that darkness, that necessary moisture for your deepest spiritual truth to germinate. Allow yourself to feel the pain that resides within you. Don't judge it, don't run from it. Just breathe with it, as if you were opening the windows of the soul to the wind of presence. Feel that, by embracing it, you are planting the seeds of your consciousness awakening. And when this alchemy of tears begins to operate, we are confronted with the greatest of truths, that our capacity to love and to persist is tested precisely when the soul feels most fragile. In the whirlwind of life, it's common to feel our soul wounded, fragmented. Those moments when we smile on the outside, but inside, our heart is breaking. The search for self-knowledge leads us to confront these fissures, to see the vulnerability of our presence amidst the chaos. The challenge, then, is not to mask the wound, but to find the courage to love and keep going, even when everything seems to fall apart. Authentic spirituality does not invite us to escape pain, but to a conscious immersion in it. It is at this point of vulnerability that silent ethics manifest. The way you love, care, and keep going, even in pain, is your greatest expression of wisdom. It's not about a performance of strength, but a deep acceptance of your humanity. Carl Jung teaches us about the importance of integrating the shadow, the parts of us we deem less worthy. The soul, in its totality, includes pain, doubt, fear. And it is in this compassionate embrace that inner transformation begins. Throughout the day, Set aside moments for listening to your soul. Observe your reactions, your emotions, without judgment. Allow yourself to feel what emerges, even if it's discomfort. This simple practice of inner silence is the first step to healing a wounded presence and re-establishing your connection with being. And so, with the soul in the process of healing, we realize that the path ahead is not always linear, but that the apparent waiting is, in fact, an essential component of the great promise of our journey. In our culture of speed, we long for quick answers, for a linear and guaranteed spiritual awakening. We believe that evolution should be a ladder, where each step brings us closer to the top. But the universe, in its wisdom, operates by a different code, the divine code of waiting. Life is not a straight ladder. It is a winding river to teach gentleness. The pauses, the apparent delays, are not signs that you are failing, but proof that you are being prepared for something much greater. You are not late. You are not broken. And you are not lost. You are being aligned with your true self, with your higher purpose, with a life that is destined for you. The non-linearity of personal development is the very essence of wisdom. It is in the valley that the mountain reveals itself in its magnitude. It is in the darkness that the seed finds its strength to sprout. The fertile void is the womb of the sacred. It is not absence. It is presence without noise. Trust the process, even when it doesn't make sense. Each phase has a purpose, and waiting is part of the gestation of the extraordinary that is to come. The Stoic concept of active acceptance of reality, without attachments to outcome or control, echoes this wisdom. What is destined for you has already been written and is clear, beautiful, and purposeful. It is not a maybe, it is a promise. And what if the pain you feel today, this apparent weight, is the portal to the life you've always sought, the awakening of consciousness your soul awaits? Breathe deeply. Let go of fear. Let go of the need to control. Let go of worry. What is meant to be, will be. And you, if you keep going, if you keep showing up, if you keep fighting, you will win. Every challenge is a subtle invitation, a chance to reconnect with the strength that resides within your inner path. There's no need for 5-year plans or 6-month plans. Only now is real. Focus only on today. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel your body rooted, like a mountain, firm and present, and visualize the soul as a lit candle in your chest, with a serene and silent flame. Even in the face of the outer storm, this flame never goes out. It is your presence, your spiritual truth that guides you. Don't strive to extinguish it, nor to make it bigger. Just observe. Allow this inner light to fill every cell of your being, calming the noise and revealing the peace that has always been there. Remember, silence is not absence, it is presence without noise. If something within you has calmed or awakened upon hearing these words, allow yourself to continue. Subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to walk with us on this road of fertile silence, discoveries, and reconnection. Share your experience in the comments. Your sharing is also a seed of emotional healing for other hearts. And to keep expanding this field of presence, we suggest the video that is on the card. May it be a gentle breath on your journey. Peace and light.